was 12 when I started, right? Just to see. I've got 3 I wear at the moment. Does that count? No? Okay. Yes.
What's the other style of karate you train?
I've done Shotokan when I was young. When I was 12, I started doing Shotokan training, which is some of what we do as well. And then I also have done Goju. So everything that GKR does. Yep. Yes. Too long. Something like that. 2 years. 2 years, yes. You mean in our system when you go through this training program or from each person? Well, okay, good question. See, we do a lot of, because of the nature of what GKR is about, there's a lot of, as we talk about in training, a lot of personal development as well. So whether it's our own instructor training qualifications that we go through, the guys have gone through, there's always components of personal development, like communications, people skills, the important stuff. Does that make sense? Beyond that, for us that also do this full time, we're always looking for personal development training, people skills, communications, leadership, everything to do with I guess what it means to become a better person, everything we do. So, and all of us do different ranges of stuff. Like personally, I've done coaching courses and stuff as well, like in the last few years. But that's all part of my ongoing training. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's mostly choice. Yeah, like mostly choice. And it's fun as to how far you want to take it. Yeah. Yes. Me? I was 12, and it's because my dad wanted to take us to start karate, and I was 12, my younger brother was 10, and my youngest brother was 6. My youngest brother was really, like, we all went from 3 boys, used to always muck around, each other at home. My dad always wanted to do karate, but I never could because of the condition out of his legs. So he started us, we started training when I was 12.
What do you do to keep yourself motivated?
Honestly, I do this. So and this is the truth. When I visit and I teach, I've been doing more teaching and visiting the last few years than I had in the past, especially running black belt camps and stuff around the place. What motivates me is training with people, working with people like in the dojo, and just seeing what other people are doing, like kind of feeding off of what students and everyone else is doing. So that really motivates me. That really kind of inspires me as well. So, sometimes you might think, I'm here and I'm sort of motivating you, but I watch you train and I get motivated and I get inspired to want to do more for myself and then, give more back as well. Yeah? Yes?
When you compare the Japanese style to the Okinawa style, where do you see GKR in that option?
Good question. All right. So GKR, obviously we've always promoted ourselves as a Japanese style of martial art because that's where a lot of the mainland karate has come from, like as it's spread outside of Japan. I'm talking about the Shotokan, some of the Goju that's mostly, driven by Japan. The Okinawan styles, they seem to be a lot more based around, how it evolved from the beginning. So there's a lot more application involved, a lot more, and that's where I think we're heading more towards. The style of training that we did today, it's very much something we've only started to teach just recently, and we're about to embark on a series of videos and workshops that we teach all our instructors, because our goal is for every new student that walks into the karate club, A lot of people don't have the vision of what they can do in karate, and they don't really start to learn self-defense as early as they should. And I think if we can change that, people will stick around more and they'll get the value from karate rather than getting bored. Because karate, like most everything you do in life, it's either going to be boring or exciting. Does that make sense? And the ability for us to turn it from something that could be boring and mundane, like repetition of repetition and no meaning behind stuff, to something that's a lot more real, that's a big game changer. And I think a lot of styles still teach in their old way, and I guess I don't want to compare us to what other clubs do. All I can think about is what I think we can do, to improve our training and our focus, and what they will do for our students in the long run, and for ourselves, because we need to inspire new people, and we need to inspire us that have been around for 20, 30 years. Does that make sense? Everyone has to be inspired to grow and develop. Does that make sense? Okay, quick couple of questions. Yes, you guys have asked more questions than anyone else in the world combined, which is good because I'm not flying out till tomorrow morning. I don't know why you said tomorrow. Yes. Yes.
How old are your brothers now?
They're good. We all got black belt. Yeah, we all got the black belt. My youngest brother, he got the black belt when he was like 11, 12. He was one of the youngest in Shotokan at the time. He got the black belt. But yeah, they're good mates. I'll let them know you said hi. Oh, I can't. I'm sorry. Who said why not, by the way? Are you going? For you, it's like just up the road. For me, it's like. No, we've got other plans that weekend. Are you guys coming to the Australian International? Okay, next question, quickly. Yes. How are my brothers? What's their names? Okay, my next oldest brother is Gary, and my youngest. My youngest brother's name is Steve.
How do the cartons get designed? So who does the design of the cartons and stuff?
Well, the cars we have, they're like hundreds of years old. So the traditional cars from, the masters of old that kind of created it within their own style and system. So cars themselves are designed and were designed by one person. It's almost like, let's say for example, you're talking 200-300 years now. Some of them are creations of previous cars, yeah? That were designed, from back in China and Kung Fu style, the white crane and all that sort of stuff. And they were designed based on a person's personal sort of fighting strategy, if that makes sense. So we can almost say that every card that we learn, we're almost learning a complete fight strategy within a card. There's certain principles and tactics and ways of moving that are kind of unique to that person that designed it. Kind of unique to his or hers maybe, fighting style. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good question. Somebody else has a comment. Yes.
Because one of those you showed us before, that depended on here, you just go forward, you go in and down.
When you can get through, you can get down, you can go in the back. It just depends on what level you are. From off, soft hands. Just got time, get down. You've got more time to do this. Okay, any other good questions? Yes.
Roughly how many autographs are being done?
That is such a... I'll keep count actually. I'm up to 1,726,412. Okay. Thanks guys. Let's line up, finish up our and then if you guys want to grab, should we go have a group photo? Yep. A group photo. Some of you guys are really excited because this is a bigger class than last night's Christchurch. I don't know if you guys got a rival or anything going, but let's get out of this because it's going to take about 4 or 5 hours. Quickly, I want to thank you guys again for your attention. It's been a long day, but well worth it. I mean, I enjoy training, I enjoy teaching this stuff, and I'm just hoping even if you just take away a few things from today, at least 5. Okay, and apply that to your training from now on. Okay?